In the book of John, chapter 4, verses 13 through 14, Jesus answered, "Everyone who drinks this water will be thirsty again. But whoever drinks water I give them will never thirst. Indeed, the water I give them will become in them a spring of water welling up to eternal life." But how can we not become thirsty again when we're in a drought? You see, there are times in our lives where we feel distant from God, known as our dry season. It's a time when we tend to sit, wonder, "God, where are you?" When in reality, all he's saying is, "Child, I'm right here." You see, there was a time in my life where I had my dry season. My parents were going through a divorce. I didn't see my dad all the time. My grandpa had just passed away. And on top of that, I was the oldest child, meaning I had a lot of responsibilities. I felt it all to be too much. I felt like God abandoned me. But yet I would still go to church, put on a front of, "Yeah, I'm a Christian. I'm gonna go to church. I'm gonna go worship Jesus. I'm gonna go serve." But in reality, that wasn't the truth. And honestly, it wasn't until this past summer that I was fully brought out of my drought. You see, in Jeremiah 17, 7 through 8 says, "But blessed is the one who trusts in the Lord, whose confidence is in him. They'll be planted like a tree by the water that sends out its roots by the stream. It does not fear when heat comes. Its leaves are always green. It has no worries in a year of drought and never fails to bear fruit." You see, we have to be like these trees. Our faith should be like the leaves, always green, because Jesus is our water. And we should always be bearing fruit to share with others our faith. And at this summer camp, I came to a realization that it was me who disconnected from God. You see, it wasn't until the third day that it finally all clicked. God had not left me. It was me in my anger of him, of all these actions that had passed. I felt like it was him who did it, when in reality it wasn't. It was the devil trying to come at me. It's the devil trying to come at all of us. You see, in the end of Matthew 28:20, he says, "And I am surely with you always, to the very end of age." God has not left you. He is always with you. He is preparing you something so big that it's going to be life-changing. We are going to experience a rain that will change our lives, that will make our dry season end. It's preparing us for our faith to grow bigger, to share with others around us, because God has not left us, nor will he ever. You see, I realized so much this past summer, where my relationship with the Lord became even stronger. That week I worshiped even harder. I dove even deeper into his word. And that's when I learned that my dry season was over. That God was preparing me for something so big, like he's preparing you to share his word and his love, because he has not left you. And be ready for this rain he is about to bring, because it is a rain that will not only change your life, but it will change the lives around you. We need to share our fruit that we made with others around us. We need to give them the sweet. We need to let them know Jesus is with you, because he has never left you. Our faith with the Lord is about to be stronger than ever, as long as we keep believing and trusting and having faith in him. This has has not yet ended. Our love for God is still there. His love for us is still there. Our dry season is ending today as we worship Him every single day and we dive deeper into His Word every single day. That's how we build our faith. Be ready for this rain, because it's one that you'll never forget.